Welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. This is
Andrea.
This is
Luke Smith.
And we're ready to start our second gameplay video. But first, Thimin88 pointed out a little error in the last video. Let's quickly take a look. Alright, so the monsters rolled one potential hit against me with this 5, but now I get to roll my magic against it, which is going to give me 5 attack dice. I have to roll 6s in order to hit. Alright, here we go. Come on, 6s. Oh, I got 1 6. So you might have noticed in that video, I only rolled one potential hit against the enemy. That's 6. But I also rolled a 5, and although that's not a hit, I could have used that 5 to block the hit from the monster that had also rolled a 5. But I forgot to do that. So what that means is I shouldn't have taken as many damage as I did, so I get to remove one of the damage. Hooray! So thank you, Thimin88. I appreciate that. I always like when my errors go in my favor. Okay, so...
So do we.
I don't believe you. Okay, so now we're ready to begin, and we left it off with you, Andrea, and you got some advice from the people online, and Jerex4 was the one who, I think, got the most thumbs up and had sort of the best suggestions
Wrote me
for you.
kind of like a little story of what I should do throughout the game.
Yes. It was very good. It was very detailed, right? So I think what, if I remember correctly, what he was saying is because of your ability to move quickly through the dungeon, right?
Yeah.
Your blaze step.
Attack and move. Basically.
Right, basically attack and move. Ignore treasures because Andrea can sort of fight and encounter monsters more quickly because every time she kills an enemy, she gets a free move action. So ignore the treasures, just level up as quick as you can.
Yep.
That seems to be the advice. So, Andrea, on that note, it is your turn.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move out here.
All right.
So now I have to roll to see if I get a treasure or an encounter card.
All right.
I got a 4. So since I got a 4, I get to draw a treasure card and an encounter card.
What'd you get for an encounter?
A cave goblin.
All right, exciting. Now, the Cave Goblin has a special ability that allows the first player, Luke, to make the hero that's attacking the Cave Goblin re-roll any number of their attack dice. So what that means is if Andrew does a great roll against the Cave Goblin, Luke might say, oh, not so good, and make her re-roll those excellent dice.
Well, you never know.
Or I could get a bad roll and he could let me re-roll.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't even considered him actually helping you. You guys aren't in a secret alliance, are you?
No.
Well, all right. I guess it's time to roll. The Cave Goblin attacks first and rolls 4 attack dice. Now, the Cave Goblin will hit on rolls of 3 or 4. So there's actually 3 potential hits against Andrea, but she gets to hit back. And you're going to get to roll 5 dice, right?
Yep. Because
Okay.
my bronze 3, and then I'm going to use my elder ability.
Right, so she gets to add half of her skill to that. So 5 dice. Let's see what you get. Okay, so you got 2 dice that are potential blockers. So the Cave Goblin gets hit on rolls of 4 or more. Andrea only got 1 4, but she also got a 3, and that 3 could be used to block because the Cave Goblin rolled a 3 on the potential hit.
Yep.
So now the question is, do you want to make Andrea re-roll any of her dice?
Yeah.
Which ones do you want to make her re-roll?
That one, and that one.
The 1, and the 2?
Yeah.
So you're trying to help her out?
Yeah.
Alright, so Andrew's going to get to re-roll. I see what's going on here now. Okay, so Andrew's going to get to re-roll those 3 dice. Let's see what you get, Andrea. Nice, a 5, 4, and a 2. So Andrea already rolled the 4 and the 3 that's here, and she gets to add the 5 and the 4 to use during this attack.
Okay, so these are my dice, and this is the monster's dice. I'm going to use these 2 to block, and I'm going to use these 2 to hit him. Okay, so the Cave Goblin has 3 life, and I only hit him for 2. But since I'm using the Poison Dagger, I get to add an extra wound marker on him.
Right, so that actually does add up to 3 damage, which is going to kill the Cave Goblin. So you collect another one. Now, 1 damage would get through to you, because you didn't block one of the hits.
But I'm going to rally.
Right. So when you rally after killing a monster, you get to remove 1 wound marker. In fact, I think your special ability allows you to remove 2. You only had 1 though, so
It's all good.
well done.
Okay, so because of my Blaze Step ability, I also get to make a free move action after killing a monster. Now do it like that.
Ah. Okay, so Andrew's land on the Den. It's a special green tile, And this is different because every time you enter this den, you have to roll for an encounter. Most of the tiles that we've been rolling on, you only roll once the first time it's revealed.
If there isn't an encounter already present.
That's right. In the den, if there isn't already a monster there, then you would have to roll for a second one when you enter there. So, Andrew, you're going to have to roll 1 die, and on a roll of 1, 2, or 3, there's going to be an encounter.
Okay. A 1. Okay, so since I got a 1, I get to have an encounter.
All right.
Which is a fire vent. It's a trap.
So the fire vent trap means that she has to choose her skill or magic and roll that number of dice. Any roll of 4 or more is a success, but she needs 3 successes.
So my skill is 4, which means I'm going to get to roll 4 dice.
Oh, that does not look like enough successes. So this is one test that, as Andrea's father, I don't mind at all that she failed. Andrew, you're going to have to take 2 wounds for that, and don't like me picking on your sister? Probably going to pay for that later. So this trap card gets discarded. So Andrea still has 1 action left over, which is hard to believe because it already feels like you've done a ton. So what do you want to do for your last action?
I'm going to level up.
Of course. Okay, so Andrea's trading in 2 of her encounter cards, and that means she gets to take a training token. What do you want to level up on your...
I'm going to level up my skill.
Okay, so you're going to level up your skill. Her skill now is 5, and you get to draw 2 cards off of your ability deck, read them over, and pick 1. Now, I'm sure you're all curious to know what the 2 cards were that Andrea looked at, but to save a little bit of mystery for when you play the game, we're just showing you the one that she decided to pick, which is the burn card. As a special action, you may place 1 wound marker on a monster or hero you share a tile with. So what that means is, Andrea doesn't even have to do a battle action. She can just automatically wound someone on her tile. Just kind of scary, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, maybe it's a good idea to have me as an ally.
I agree, buddy. Good old pal.
No.
No? All right. Well, okay. So that is finally the end of Andrea's turn. And now it's Luke's turn, but Luke, you're the first player. So what that means is you don't actually get to do any actions. You just get to do the roaming action, where monsters, but there's no monsters, but if there had been monsters in the dungeon, they would all have to move 1 tile. So instead, you now pass this to your favorite person. Me! Okay, so I become the first player, and so I have to decide what I'm going to do for my turn. Alright, so for my turn, I can't move north. I have to move either to the left, which puts me close to Luke, or to the right, which puts me next to Andrea. I don't know who I trust more. I'm going to head over towards Andrea. She's been with me the longest. I have faith she won't attack me. Alright, so I'm going to move over here. I'm going to reveal a new tile. I've revealed just a regular tile. I'm going to attach it on here, like so. And now I have to move on to that tile. And I'm also going to roll a die and see whether I get a treasure or an encounter card. Alright, it's a 2. Okay, so a roll of 2 means that I get to put both a treasure card down and I have to draw an encounter card. And I have drawn the Rotting Zombie.
Yum.
So the Rotting Zombie has a cannibal ability. And that means if I receive 1 wound or more during a battle action with this zombie, and the zombie isn't dead, the zombie heals 1 of its own wound markers. Okay, so the zombie gets 4 attack dice and will hit on rolls of 4 or 5. Let's see what we get. Alright, so look at that. No hits at all. I like it. Okay, now I get to attack back with 5 dice, so I'm going to pick up 5 dice, give them a shake, because I'm using my magic ability. Let's see what happens. Oh, some pretty good ones. Now, hits in this case would have to be 4 or more. I only hit with 2. Okay, so 2 hits are going to go against this monster, so I'll put 2 wound markers on the Rotting Zombie. And because the Rotting Zombie did not wound me at all, he doesn't get to heal up, which is good. However, the zombie is still on my card, so I don't get to collect the treasure. Instead, I think I will attack this zombie again. So, again, the zombie is going to get to roll 4 dice. Let's see what the zombie gets. Alright, so 4s or 5s are considered hits this time, and look at that, there's 2 hits. Not so lucky that time, but I get to hit back. So I'm going to roll my 5 dice and let's see what I get. Alright, so that was a pretty good roll. I got 2 6s, which are potential hits. I got a 5 and a 4, which I can use to block the other hits. So I'm going to kill this Rotting Zombie. So I'm not even going to bother to put the wound tokens on there because I've definitely hit him. And the nice thing is, once I've beat a monster, I can rally. Now remember what happened last time. I used my Unholy Offering ability, which allows me to roll 3 dice, which is my skill rating. And then if any combination of those dice add up to exactly 7, I can actually take all of my wounds off. Now that didn't work out last time, but this time it's gonna. So here we go. I'm gonna take 3 dice, and hopefully I'm gonna get something that equals exactly 7. So I just need a 7. 3, 4. I think I rolled a 6 last time. I think I rolled that exact number last time.
You did.
Okay, so that was not a good roll on my part. Some people learn from their mistakes, and some people don't. Okay, so that's the end of my turn. Andrea, it's now your turn. It feels like we just had your turn a short while ago. This is what, the Andrea show today.
Everybody loves that show.
Oh, do they?
Everybody loves Andrea.
Well, let's keep it that way. It's your turn.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to be moving towards you, actually, Dad.
Yes,
And
that's fine.
I'm going to attack you.
Now, Andrea, I remember, I read over some of the suggestions Andrea got in the YouTube channel, and I don't remember any of them saying that you should attack me.
Well, so what?
Okay, I guess. All right, you're going to attack.
Looks likes it.
I guess so. All right, so hero versus hero combat works like this. We each choose either our brawn or our magic. We roll that number of dice. I'm going to be using my magic.
Why not brawn?
Because my brawn is only 1. That's why not. So I'm going to be rolling 5 dice. I'm going to roll first, and potential hits are 4 or more. So here we go. Let's see what I get. Oh, I got 3 potential hits. So I'm going to set aside this 5 and 2 4s as potential hits against Andrea. Now Andrea gets to roll her, 5 dice is it?
Yep.
To see if she can hit me back. Go ahead, Andrea. So Andrea rolled the exact same thing as me, but because she's the attacker, she gets to assign any of her potential hits as blocks against my potential hits. So you have the choice to block all of my hits if you want, or to hit me with your hits. What do you want to do? I think you should probably play it safe and just block all of my hits. Don't bother damaging me at all.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to be blocking 2 of your hits.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my 4s.
Okay.
And then for the 5, I'm going to hit you with 1.
Okay, so I'm hitting you with 1 and you're hitting me with 1. Is that right?
But I also have a poison dagger, which means I'm going to hit you with another 1. Which is going to equal 5. Which means you're going to die.
Oh. Okay, so the poison dagger hits me.
For another one.
Yes, thank you. So what happens if you take as much damage as your life is, well, what happens, I have to put myself on my side. I've been knocked out. I'm not killed. I'm not out of the game. What are you laughing about over there? Right, so you can see here I've been knocked down. My playing piece is on its side. And then on my hero card, half of the wound markers, rounded down, remain and the rest go away. Alright, so I've been knocked out, but Andrea doesn't get a free rally action. That only happens against defeated monsters or when you assist people. You know, assisting people, Andrea? Something worth considering?
Or disarming traps.
Or disarming traps. Okay, so that ends Andrea's turn because she took her 2 actions. And now it's Luke's turn. Luke, welcome to the show. You finally get to do something. Okay, so what would you like to do for your turn?
I'd like to move here.
All right, let's draw a new tile for you and see what it is. Okay, this is one of the regular tiles, and you're going to have to roll a die, and we'll see what you get, whether it's going to be an encounter or a treasure, or maybe even both.
A 6. 6 means I get an encounter.
All right, and what'd you get?
A mole ogre.
A mole ogre. Let's see what this can do. So the mole ogre's ability of burrowing doesn't affect its attack. However, when it roams, it can be moved to any tile at all.
The mole ogre attacks with 6 dice.
And what are the hits on what?
5 and 6.
All right, give it a good shake. Oh man, Luke, that's 4 potential hits against you. Okay, so Luke's roll really wasn't very good. 4 potential hits against him. But you do get a bonus, Luke, because the mole ogre is a humanoid, and your intolerant ability allows you to add your magic to your brawn rating when you're attacking a humanoid.
Okay.
So you get to roll 6 dice. Let's give him a shake. Let's see what you get. So Luke had to roll 4 or higher to have hits against the mole ogre. And he rolled 3 potential hits. Now, what do you want to do with those? Do you want to assign any of them as blocks?
Yes.
How many?
Oh.
Okay, so Luke wants to assign 3 dice as blocking dice, which means the ogre still gets through for 1 damage, and Luke doesn't get to hit the ogre back. Now, you have another action left over. What would you like to do with your action, Luke?
I will move.
So you want to evade the monster?
Yeah.
If you want to move and there's a monster on your tile, you have to take the evade action. Now, to do that, we have to look at the monster's evade rating. To evade, you have to roll a number of dice equal to your skill rating. So Luke's going to get to roll 3 dice, and then at least one of those dice has to be 4 or more.
Yes! I escaped the monster. I get to draw a tile.
Okay, you're going to move to that new tile. Luke has drawn a special tile called the Well Room. The Well Room is automatically going to have an encounter card added to it, but once there are no encounter cards on here, as a special action, a hero can discard a treasure card, and then on a roll of 3 or more, he gets to draw the Sword of the Well Spirit Artifact card. So this one's actually pretty good for you, Luke, because you have a couple of items that you can't use at all, so it'd be nice to be able to chuck them down the well and maybe get something that you can use. However, you have to have that encounter first. Let's see what you got. The Mummy of Wales. So the Mummy of Wales has a couple of abilities here. When it attacks, each hit that is not blocked causes 2 wound markers instead of just 1. And because of his terrible aura around him, you can't use any of your hero abilities when you're sharing a tile with this particular monster.
So, this monster is going to be attacking me.
How many dice?
4.
4 dice. And hits will be 2s, 3s, or 4s.
And only one of those is a potential hit.
Yes, the 4. Okay, so now you get to hit back, Luke, and you get to use your brawn, which is 5. So let me give you 5 dice to attack with. Go ahead and roll. And in order to hit him, you have to roll 3s or higher. So that's pretty good.
Yes! All of them are hits.
That's right, all of them are hits. Now, did you want to use any of them to block with?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to block his 1 hit, which means you do 4 damage to him. So we'll take 4 wound markers and put it on the monster. Now, unfortunately, this monster has a total health of 6. So it's not dead yet, but you've definitely got it wounded, for sure. All right, so actually, Luke, that's the end of your turn. And now we get to go to me. It's my turn. But I'm the first player. So what actually happens here is I don't get to have a turn, but I get to roam monsters. Now, there's only one monster on here that can roam. It's the Mole Ogre. The Mummy can't roam because it's already on a tile with a hero.
Yep.
Now, I can't put the mole on the tile with Luke because if there's already a monster on a tile, you can't roam into that tile. So instead, I'd have to move it somewhere else. And because of the mole's special ability, I can actually put it on any tile I would like. After a lot of going back and forth, yes, we did a quick edit there so you wouldn't have to deal with me debating what to do. I've decided I will put this on the tile with me and Andrea because Andrea has to act next, so she's going to have to deal with it next. And hopefully it's going to injure Andrea and
Probably not.
knock you out. Probably not?
Nope.
I hope it does. And if it doesn't knock you out, I hope you kill it so I don't have to deal with it later.
And then I'll just kill you again.
Oh, well, I suppose that's an option. All right, well, here's what's going to happen. It's the end of my turn. The first player token now goes to you. So Andrea's now the first player, and Andrea gets to have her turn now. And you guys know what that means.
We're done.
We're done. Okay, because now what you guys have to do is give us your suggestions about what Andrea should do for her turn. Now, she's on the same tile as me, but I'm knocked down, so she can't attack me right now, so don't be suggesting that. However, she does have to deal with this monster or evade it, and what direction should she go in? We'll give you a quick overview of the map and show you what her life and her abilities are at right now, and then you guys can get to work. Until then, we'll see you later.